What is going on, crypto peeps? Welcome back to the Traveling Crypto. Happy New Year to you. I hope you guys had a good time with your friends and your families. This is the first video of the new year and I'm back in full force now. I did take a vacation towards the end of December. I went to Paris. I was in Dubai. I actually did upload a video from Paris trying to spend Bitcoin in Paris. Check it out here if you haven't seen it already. Also, if you're interested in some behind the scenes footage while I'm on my travels, follow me on Instagram or on the stories on YouTube. Let us get right into it. Looking at the cryptocurrency market, a few things to note. Ethereum surging was up around 90% in 15 days or so, and now we are finally seeing a little bit of a slowdown. Although based on the volume, it doesn't look like we'll be seeing a heavy decline as of yet. We did send out a few trade alerts on ETH, the most recent one being at the conclusion of this cup and handle pattern, which could signify it could either be a continuation pattern or could signify a reversal from a downtrend. In this case, I sent out a trade alert at the close above the handle portion of this cup and handle, and we made a good 12% on the swing before retracing again. As I said, based on the volume, it doesn't look like there are too many sell-offs. So it looks like for now, this rally will sustain, or at least we will see a continuation pattern in the form of some sort of sideways trading. But in terms of a huge drop-off, pay attention to the volume and keep monitoring that for sell-offs. But this is the rising trend line, the rising trend line that we've had since the middle of December. In terms of retracement levels, obviously you can use something like the fib retracement to gain some sense of where this thing will retrace to. If you go swing low to swing high, you'll see here that the 0.236 fib level is around 136 bucks. So that is the level that I would be looking to for a re-entry or a breakout above the 153 level, which is where the recent swing high was. Keep in mind though that this could form a double top, which is a bearish pattern, at least in the short term here, since we're looking at the 4-hour chart. So a move to the 0.236 fib level is not out of line. If you want access to those trade alerts, link is in the description. Looking at another one that we sent a long-term trade alert for, here is BNB. BNB is now forming a nice ascending channel, hitting the same, almost the same exact level that we saw back in the beginning of December at around 164,000 and change sats. Again, this is also forming somewhat of a double top, and we are seeing some support here between the 0.382 and 0.236 fib levels. Keep monitoring volume and the support and resistance of this ascending channel. Ascending channels do tend to break down to the downside. So if we do see the support of this ascending channel break, then we will be looking to these fib levels to monitor where BNB is going to be finding support at. There is a bit of hidden bullish divergence forming here between the price, as you see here, price making a higher low and the RSI making a lower low. So that is a bit of a hidden bullish divergence, which would signify the price continuing to rise upwards, but it is ever so slight. So keep that in mind as well. Looking at BTC. Looking at a BTC here, this is the 4-hour. You'll see that BTC is once again falling into this pattern that it so loves in the second half of 2018. And this is the pattern, just a basic sideways channel. However, the sideways channels that it has formed in the second half of 2018 have been really tight. If you recall, there was a sideways channel. I mean, look at how it looks on the 4-hour. It's such a tight range that formed between the beginning of September and the middle of November. You'll see here, this was the tight range that I'm talking about. And it was extremely low volatility, extremely low movement, right? There wasn't a lot of movement. You could see how tight this channel was, and the volume was pretty low as well, which surprised me because usually volume that low doesn't sustain for over 2 months. And then we did finally see a breakdown, obviously. So it looks like we are forming a tight channel again, where you see the moving averages kind of converge and become one in the straight line fashion. That is on the short term. If we take a look at the longer term, you'll see that BTC, we broke this descending triangle to the downside as expected, bounced off of the 200-week moving average. This is on Bitstamp, obviously, because it gives us the most information. And we are now seeing some resistance at the 0.236 fib level, which is at around 3,800 and change. One thing that is concerning here is the volume. We don't see a lot of green volume on BTC. It is oversold on the RSI, or it did hit oversold recently in the beginning of December on the RSI as well as the stochastic RSI. And we said that every time we hit oversold on the stochastic RSI on the weekly, we've seen a jump by at least 40%. Now that would put us, if that were true, that would put us at around $4,500. So that is what we are expecting to see just based off of precedents, but obviously we need the volume to come in order to reach those levels, and that is past the 0.382 fib level. I'm not making any drastic moves on BTC currently, certainly not any leveraged moves on BTC currently, because it is not as easy to read as, say, something like an ETH. Now, let us move on to the reason that Ethereum, or one of the main reasons that Ethereum has seen a surge of, 90% in the last 15 days. And that is because Ethereum is approaching its hard fork. As most of you know, there is a hard fork on Ethereum called Constantinople, which is set to bring in 5 major improvements on Ethereum, as well as set it on the road to transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, something that the development team are very intent on, partly to reduce energy costs and also to improve efficiency. But because of this hard fork, this is seen as a noble cause as well as a positive news story for Ethereum, which it desperately needed. So you see that approaching the hard fork, which is estimated to be January 16th, I think. So what, this is a couple weeks from today. Approaching the hard fork, we are seeing a surge in the cryptocurrency price, which doesn't always happen. You see with the Bitcoin forks, we have seen crashes before leading up to the hard fork. I think it really depends on what the fork is and what the crypto community sees in that fork, right? Whether it's something that is beneficial to the crypto itself, or whether it is something that seems frivolous, like the Bitcoin Cash ABC versus SV ridiculous debacle. Moving back over to this article here, it says Binance will support the upcoming Ethereum fork. So for those of you that are on Binance, there's nothing for you to do. Binance will natively support it. Check your other exchanges if you do use other exchanges. Moving on to the stock world, you'll see the Dow Jones is down today about 400 points, almost 2%. The S&P 500 is down 1.3% at 32 points. The biggest loser, at least the biggest major loser, is Apple, down almost 10% today on negative sales outlooks for the future. Apple has decreased its sales and earnings outlook for the near future, and it does have an earnings report coming out January 29th, so pretty soon here. Other stocks that are down, you'll see Microsoft. Well, most stocks are down, but Microsoft is down about 3%, Amazon almost 2%. We talked about Apple already. Google's down almost 3%. So pretty much a down day in the stock market. That is it for today's news. If you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. Keep your eyes peeled for those. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell. Comment down in the comment section below if you have a comment, a question, agreement, disagreement, etc. Leave it in the comment section below. Stay safe out there. Peace.